Hey guys, so this video is for our kindergarten and first grade team for August week 3. And if you haven't heard, so far this year we are going through, starting in August, we're going through the entire Bible and the kids will finish in May. So the first week of August we talked about just the Bible in general. And then last week we talked about the fall with Adam and Eve. And this week we are talking about the story of Noah. And our bottom line is trust and obey even when others don't. So all month long we're talking to the kids about obedience, trusting who's in charge by doing what you're asked to do. And their memory verse, sorry, Lola's in the background. Your memory verse is, the way we show our love is to obey God's commands. He commands you to lead a life of love. That's what you have heard from the beginning. 2 John 6. And then we have our parent cue, so make sure that every kid takes one of those home for this week as well. So talking about obedience, talking about Noah, trusting and obeying even when others don't. So we'd love for you to join us in the garage door room at 8:20 and 10:20 for coffee and donuts. And just to pray with each other. I love that we get a chance to pray together and just hear what's going on in each other's lives. And then just make sure that you're in your small group by 8:30 and 10:30 so that you've got everything ready to go and you're there for when kids start to roll in. When kids come at 8:40 and 10:40, all you're going to need is papers and marker or crayons. And you're going to have kids draw their favorite animal and say, if I had a zoo, I would have a blank. And name the animal that they drew, because we're talking about Noah this week, so all the animals in the ark. Lola, what are you doing? Put the fishies in the hole. Okay. Then when service starts at 9 and 11, it says you need a chime or a bell, but really you can just say like ding, ding, ding with your voice. Or if you want to pull something up on your phone, you're more than welcome to do that too. So it says you're going to guide kids to move as animals, and you're going to freeze whenever you say like ding, ding, ding. And then they'll start when you say go. So you're going to have them frog jump or bear walk, gorilla shuffle. You might have to show them what all of these things look like before you start this activity so that they know. Or when you first tell them to change an animal, model that for them so that they know what you're talking about. And then you'll just say, wow, that was a lot of moving animals. Well, in our Bible story today, we're going to hear about a time when God sent an entire zoo's worth of animals to a man who loved and obeyed him. So let's go learn more. So in large group this week, you're going to hear the story of Noah. We have a live host and storyteller, so it's going to be a great week down there. When you get back, you're going to do a review activity called Safe in the Ark. And this might get a little crazy, so just try to have fun with it. What you're going to do is you're going to have a path marked on your floor. It might be zigzag or straight. And you're going to have some stuffed animals at one end of the path. And the ark, which is going to be a little basket, at the other end of your path. And you're going to divide your group into two teams. And you're going to have one team go line up at the end with the stuffed animals. And the other team is going to stand around the path. So kind of on the edges of the path. And when you say go, the team that's by the animals is going to take turns walking the tightrope, walking your line of tape to carry the stuffed animals two at a time to the ark. And as they go, the other team is going to try to knock them off course by throwing paper wads at them along their path. So if an animal kid drops off the path or steps off the path, then they go back and they start over. So once they've got all the animals safely in the ark, you're going to guide teams to switch spots and they'll play again. And then you'll just drive home the story. While the game is fun, this is the part that's really important, to drive home the importance of trust and obey even when others don't. So you'll just say, make sure you save time for this. Sit your kids down in a circle and say, so guys, was it hard to stay on the path when others were trying to knock you off? And how did it feel when people tried to keep you from doing what you needed to do? And how were you able to stay on that path? So just have kids kind of talk about it and see what they said, that it's hard even when others weren't helping them. And then make it personal. Tell kids about a time when you did what was right even when other people didn't. And then just say, so guys, it can be really hard to do what's right, especially when other people aren't doing that. But if you do what's right even when others don't, you'll be just like Noah. And when Noah was alive, out of the whole entire world, he and his family were the only ones who trusted and obeyed God. So when you have a choice to do what God wants you to do or to be like others and not obey, just remember Noah and remember to trust and obey even when others don't. So then for the memory verse activity, you're going to do this color by shapes. It's really not color by numbers, but it's really color by shapes sheet. And you're just going to tell the kids what shape should be colored. So you might need to have them like color in the key. So color the star yellow, color the oval blue, and then they can do that down there. And then you're just going to use this little conversation below to unpack the verse. So you'll just say, 2 John 6 says, and then it says the memory verse, and when we obey God's commands, we show God that we love him and that we love others. And since God wants us to always show our love, we should trust and obey even when others don't. And it's not always easy to obey God, especially when others are misbehaving on the bus or disobeying their parents or not listening to the teacher. But with God's help, we can be different, and we can love God by obeying him and loving others. So remember, trust and obey even when others don't. And then to close out in prayer, you're just going to have the kids repeat the following phrases after you and then lead them a prayer. So, I can trust and obey at home. I can trust and obey in the car. And you'll just go through that whole list and then close it down in prayer. So, that's it for today. It's a pretty simple day. I think they're going to have a lot of fun with the game. Just be sure to kind of drive that home at the end of why we did that fun, silly game. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for serving as small group leaders on Sunday mornings. I'm so grateful for all of you. Make sure that you sign up to come to our volunteer kickoff event. It's going to be Monday night, August 26th. It is going to be a great time. You do not want to miss it. Just a great way to re-energize us and get us going for this new school year. So thank you all so much for serving, and I'll see you on Sunday.